Morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Digest with Jimi Disu, and this is the first Daily Digest of the week. And we're going to examine an issue that cropped up last week, and that had to do with an article that I saw written by well-respected. Looking forward to meet him, Professor Chidi Odekalo. He's a lawyer, okay, and he wrote an article called "Why Philanthropy Stops at Building a Courthouse" by Chidi Odekalo. When I read it, I made sure that I passed it on to my unofficial legal advisors. So I will go through what the issue is, and then I will take views from Libros Oshoma, Titi Ogunye, and my very good friend who I cornered just this morning. I was able to corner him over the weekend. It was just grabbing. Yemi Kadi Johnson. He will come on the second half, okay, after 9:30, and we'll get an opinion on that. Essentially, what it is that Chief Wole Olanipekun, well-respected senior advocate of Nigeria, built a courthouse for Ekiti State. He donated the courthouse to Ekiti State. So we want to look at the propriety of that. Let me go through the article so that I can give credit to whom it is due. And Odekalo says something extraordinary happened in Ikere Ekiti. On that day, the governor of the state, Abiodun Yebanji, the governor himself, received and commissioned a new courthouse built by senior lawyer Chief Oluwole Oladapo Olanipekun. Various people were there, and so on and so forth. And it says that Chief Olanipekun, who built the house, is a proud son of Ikere, where a new courthouse is located. Now remember, this is a senior advocate of Nigeria building a courthouse for the state. And in this courthouse, he'll be going to argue cases. So we want to look at that. The ethics of all that is what we'll look at. And his generosity is not in doubt. He's been involved in various forms of whatever, supposedly to alleviate the suffering of his people, and so on and so forth. And Odekalo says that he's arguably the most successful Nigerian lawyer of his generation. And he runs one of the biggest law firms in the country. And of course, we all remember the controversy about one of his associates, Ogunde, the famous letter that was written way back then. But Chief Olanipekun is not on trial here, and his person is not on trial. We want to look at the propriety. Is it right for a lawyer? I mean, let me quickly express my complete dissatisfaction with all that a private citizen will build a law court. Now, it's not as if maybe he died. Some dignitary died, a Fajem Irokun or anybody died, and then donated a courthouse. Is a living lawyer who is still practicing. So before you start bringing those examples, let's get that very clear. Some people could say that, okay, in my will, I donate a courthouse to whatever, and then he's gone. That is, but for a practicing lawyer, it leads to all kinds of speculations. And he says that Chief Olanipekun at this commissioning ceremony said that it was that the project was initiated with the consent and permission of the Honorable Chief Judge of Ekiti State, who also approved and modified the drawings appropriately. They did some modifications. And Odekalo argues that this is where the problems begin. What exactly was the Chief Judge thinking of when he gave consent for a lawyer in active practice to build and donate a courthouse to the judiciary? Okay? Despite everything that can be said in favor of well-appointed courthouses, the idea of any person building and donating one to the judiciary anywhere is so staggering in its implications that it must be rejected out of hand as a model for addressing the manifest challenges of Nigeria's judicial system. Of the many reasons that can be adduced for this, 5 stand out. And let me quickly mention the 5. It says, let us begin with the most basic. Courthouses go to the very essence of statehood. The state exists for the well-being of all who live within it. To protect them, it enjoys certain basic monopolies. One is a presumptive monopoly on the legitimate use of violence. The other is a monopoly of legitimate adjudication. The latter monopoly, in fact, precedes the former. If the state dispenses justice credibly, it diminishes the likelihood that grievances can boil over into violence. To put it in plain language, that a government, to put it in plain language, it is not done. In the name of fairness and justice, it should not be done. He also talks about the credibility of judicial function and public trust in his institutions. He also said a lawyer in active practice cannot be allowed to build or donate a courthouse for obvious reasons. Such a project can never be free of perception of professional influence peddling. And I agree. So, invariably, if you have a case that is going to be decided in this Ikere Ekiti court, and you have the money, it stands to reason that the place to go would be to go to the person who built the court. That is the perception. It might not be the reality, but that will be the perception. And the truth is, it's going to be difficult for Chief Olanipekun to make anybody believe that when he stands in front of the judge who is sitting in the court that he built, things will not go in his favor as much as they can. And he said this particular donation could soon prove to be more expensive than it is worth. In time, it will become grounds for appeal against decisions of judges who sit in it, exposing them to innuendos and denuding them of intangible assets of trust and confidence on which the judicial function is anchored. Let me give you what perception does. When I read the judgment of the tribunal at the Osun State Tribunal, and I read somewhere that the judges said something to the effect that the governor should not be dancing, and there was a reference to Kiss, Daniels, whatever. I said to myself, are they mocking the PDP candidate because he dances and so on and so forth? I think judgments should be devoid of such language. They should have just gone straight to the point, rather than making any innuendo, especially to the guy who now lost. I was going to bring that up before this one came up, and I said, okay, so we'll deal with this. But referring to that judgment, I don't think it's just not tidy. You can have an argument on whether it's right or wrong, but it's just not. I would have loved a judgment that stuck to the issue, instead of putting in the innuendo of don't dance balongo, don't dance this and that. But then law wasn't what I'm not a lawyer, but my father was, and I grew up in the environment. Indeed, I worked in the Ministry of Justice as a clerk. As a clerk, I worked in the library for about a year plus. So it's I can't imagine Justice Elias or back in the day, people like that giving a judgment that says you shouldn't be dancing this and that, making a direct reference to one of the contestants in the case, especially the one who lost. Okay, back to Odikalo. Odikalo says that fourth, this idea of donation of court houses invites the classic slippery slope. Let us begin from the premise that this donation is motivated by the purest of intentions. Not every person who may choose hereafter to invest in this model of philanthropy can be credited with the same purity of purpose. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. If Judge Olanipekun can donate a building to the church to be used as court, to the judiciary to be used as court, then other people have the same right. If he wanted to improve his community, he could have donated a hospital, he could have built another school, he could have built a university, he could have scholarships and so on and so forth. I think this lacked a bit of discretion. And he says, Odikalo argues that if one man can build and donate a courthouse, then every big man who has stolen money will sooner or later adopt that same model as their own down payment on impunity. In no time, courthouses around the country would become annexed into private estates of questionable provenance, and their preoccupation will not be justice administration but decision taking as to who gets shafted, both in reality and in the public perception. Above all, Professor Odikalo says it is impossible for this kind of project to avoid a violation of the constitutional rules of fair hearing and the Judicial Code of Conduct, Rule 1.4 of the code precludes every judge from, and he quotes, contacts that may lead people to speculate that there is a special relationship between him and someone whom the judge may be someone who the judge may be tempted to favor in some way in the course of his judicial duties. How does a judge who sits in a court built by one man avoid the impression that he or she has a special relationship with the owner of the court? Okay? And then it goes on, and final paragraph that it says it should be clear that this is not something that any state should have entertained or allowed. This kind of project guarantees an impression of improper interference in the administration of justice. This deserves the attention of the NBA, the Chief Justice, the National Judicial Council to ensure that this first and will also be the last and the only instance of this kind of donation anywhere in Nigeria. I think they should convert that court into a law library. Then you can, that I think that would have been more appropriate. Who do I have on the line? I don't have GT on the line. Okay. Hello, GT. Good morning. Hello. Morning, GT. Hello. Morning. Oh, okay. I have GT. Is he there again? Well, sorry. Hello, GT. Good morning. I can't hear him. Wow. So let's go find out what happened. I'm going to be speaking to GT Ogunye. I'm going to speaking to Yemi Kandi Johnson. Okay, let me try them on my line. I'll try and see if I can get. Okay, Yemi had called me, so let me try him. Okay, I'm trying to see if I can get one of them. Let me try Liborius. I need to ask Liborius. Is it Libros or Liborius? I don't know. I need to ask him to be very clear. I'm working on getting to see if I can get some security expert to talk about the stoning of the president in Kano and the security implications. I must give kudos, to whoever handled the security architecture there for showing a lot of restraint. Because according to reports, now I said I wasn't there, but according to reports, there was even an attempt to bring the... Hello, Libros, hold on. Morning. Put that there. Morning, how are you? Morning. Okay, let's try. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly, sir.
Okay, did you hear my submission? You saw the article when I sent it to you anyway.
Yes, I read the article. I've read it before you said it to me.
Okay. And so can we have your feelings on it?
Yes, I share the sentiment of Professor Odika completely. It is...
yes.
The judiciary, we all agree, the last hope of the common man.
Yes.
And when the common man, the moment the common man no longer sees that the judiciary as unbiased.
Yes.
Against certain persons.
Yes.
Because of what they have given to the judiciary.
Yes.
Then the judiciary is threatened. Considering also, I must say this, we shouldn't shy away from saying it.
Yes.
Considering also the recent allegations against a lawyer in the firm of Olanipekun. He might have all good intention, fantastic intention, because this is not he's donated similar buildings to universities and all the other institutions and but for the judiciary, for which he is a member, a very senior member of the bar, a chairman body of venture, the best that can be done should be to put pressure on the state government to ensure adequate funds that arm of government. Or you have, like what Ikalu suggested, not just like you have the security trust fund.
Yes.
You can have a trust fund where people can contribute to. So at that point, you are no longer saying that it is this person that donated this building. Because if you are a judge, really,
yes,
you are sitting in a court donated by a senior advocate, the day that senior advocate enters into that courtroom, definitely you are going to get, you don't get high one visa. There are going to be some form of respect for him. Yes. Also, that is why we say that let justice be done if even the heavens will fall. And once the party on the other side perceives, not that there is bias, but that there is every likelihood that the judge will be biased,
yes,
then that judge should recuse himself. So in a case where a lawyer on the other side says, well, this law firm or the head of chambers of this law firm, the owner of this law firm actually donated this building after agreement with the CJN, the Chief Judge of the state. And so I have a matter in this court, and they are on the other side. I do not think, in all honesty, that I will get justice because that relationship is open.
Okay, Libros. Sorry, time is not our friend here. So
yes,
what?
Against all of this backdrop, I think we should discourage it. And like Odin Kanu said, if you accept this today, what is the guarantee that tomorrow a politician will not steal money and begin to donate courtrooms, as a way of preparing ground for soft landing?
Okay, Libros, very quickly. So what do we then do? What do you suggest that we do with this current one that we have?
The current one that has been donated can be used for something else. Let the state government build a befitting courtroom. Donate this one for some other use. Let it not be that we're encouraging donation of courtrooms by individuals. It does not augur well for our judiciary that is already in the eye of the storm.
Okay, thank you very much, Libros. Thank you very much for your short but incisive contribution. I'm most grateful for that. I do apologize if we didn't get, if it wasn't too clear. I had to quickly use my phone. Telecoms is not that easy. It's not that easy to, telecoms problems not that easy to get over. We'll take a break at 9:25, which is about 3 minutes from now. I'll take the contributions of GT Ogunye and Yemi Kandi Johnson. But before we do that, let me tell you that we will take take your own views too. 0700 993 993 993 and 01485 Okay, so we'll take a short break now and we'll be right back.
People do not have options to choose when it comes to jobs, so they go into what's available.
So the onus lies on those who select. Those who select them must look out for those who have passion for this job.
Okay.
Through interview.
Your number one station for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Yes, good morning. I'm here to remind you that 100K that we've been talking about all week, today is the last day. How far now? Have you been shazamming the thing I told you to shazam? Have you been doing it? Because there's every tendency that some of you forgot, and that's why I'm always here to be your alarm clock to remind you that 100K is up for grabs if you just have Shazam on your phone. What's happening? Now, at the top of a button, you know that you can learn not only the title of a song that you like, but also the artist's name and even the lyrics, okay? So you absolutely love a song, you don't know the title, you don't know the artist, Shazam is here for you. And guess what? Cool FM is celebrating you as a fan of music this month by awarding you 100K, 100,000 naira to the listener with the most Shazam at the close of the month. And today happens to be that day. So keep Shazamming because you never can tell. Do you believe in the God of the last minute? Because I do. Keep Shazamming as many songs as you can from Cool FM or any other sources. Send a screenshot of the number of songs you have Shazammed to Cool FM Instagram page. Guess what? New entries are coming in every day. So keep Shazamming and sharing your updated number of songs. Shazam is on Android and iOS. Download it now and 100K can just be yours at the end of this month today. Just like that from Cool FM.
Don't touch that dial. Daily Digest returns in a moment.
When you think of fruit juice and all the goodness that comes in it, think Chivita. It is many years of trust, quality, and all the goodness of fruit poured into one lovely pack with no artificial flavors, colors, and preservatives, specially made for you. And there is more to choose from. Whatever your preferences are, there is a Chivita for you. If you love an active life, there's Chivita Active. Or you can just relax and unwind with Chi Exotic. If you are the cool dude, say hello to Happy Hour. And if you are the explorer who simply wants to try something refreshingly different, Chivita Iced Tea is your drink. However you want it, there is a Chivita for you. There is a Chivita for everyone. So, what's your Chivita?
Papa, Mama, brother, sister, this Lagos must work for all of us.
Auntie Lovett, where you dey go?
Now, of course, so the same we bring with PVC and Summer's gifts.
You just dey live for Lagos, you no sabi anything.
What do you mean? No be see dem wan see am, dem no go collect am now.
So PVC not a mirror wey person dey use check face.
Sure, na true. These people wan use style collect our tomorrow for we hand o.
No more JJC for inside obodo Lagos again o. My Male and Pale don hide their own inside our cupboard and na day of election you go show face.
Maybe to go hide my own and the day of election you go come out.
Auntie Lovett, fight for Lagos o.
Caro, fight for your own right too. Make everybody keep their PVC wella. Make una no give the photocopy to anybody. We no kukuma know where they take the photo go. Kasala no go burst for our head o. We no go enter gbege.
Everybody down from Eko.
Abdulaziz Olajide and Idira Jando, PDP governorship candidate. The summer on this informate.
PDP, power to the people.
Thanks for calling Bastion HMO.
Since I signed up with Bastion HMO, I don't worry about hospital bills. I get access to top quality health care and still save enough for other things. They even help me pre-book my doctor's appointments. Bastion HMO also gives me access to over 1,700 hospitals and clinics with the freedom to switch whenever. I feel so in control of my finances and health.
Call 0800 Bastion or visit www.bastionhmo.com to purchase a plan that suits your needs. Bastion Health, the HMO that puts you in control.
Everyone is at the table for lunch. Mom is bringing in the jollof rice. And then...
John!
Sorry, Mom.
Hello? Can I order some jollof rice to be delivered?
Mama saves the day. Lunch is here.
Mom, I got some Coke too.
Just come and eat, Joe.
Cook up memorable moments because family lunch and an ice cold Coke make a recipe for wonder. Coca-Cola, real wonder.
Uncle Dentist, what are cavities? And how does Colgate protect my teeth from cavities? Does it use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Most pains are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavities.
It's time to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Colgate is recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
If I come out 50k today, tomorrow 100k, the day after another one, times 2.
Now wow, wetin you dey calculate like this o? I just dey hear of the new CBN way to take collect money from account. Say person only fit collect a certain amount every day and every week. Shey na why you dey do all this Pythagoras theorem wey you dey do so? With UBA, you fit do big and plenty transactions wey go stop all this your calculations. Cold minerals and biscuit for traffic na money o. But the thing be say, I get one big payment to do. Where go? Na so, with the new UBA mobile app internet banking and star 919 hash, you fit do transactions yakata. And as you dey always dey on Instagram, just chat with Leo at official UBA chat banking to transfer money sharp. Make I go arrange my life for the future, jare.
Sure, you know say you fit bank as you like and do correct transactions for our digital channels. For more tori, make you contact our customer center wey sabi for 0700 2255 822 or email cfc@ubagroup.com. Terms and conditions dey sha o. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Nigeria na we country, APC na the party, na one man be a
At last, the elections are here. Vote spread Nigeria for renewed hope and Nigeria. Vote BBC, the party that shows approved.
Mama, you can hit my eyes with this stick.
You love drama. We love it too. Enjoy action-packed drama full of intrigue and suspense. For just 3,400, your favorite stars in DJ, Flawson, and Hope Dragon betray, gossip, and cover secrets in an exclusive epic showdown only on Showmax. Dial *777# to stream them all. Glow Unlimited.
Please listen to this public service announcement. Are you or anyone around you having rashes on the face, hands, feet, and any part of the body that may be filled with liquid or pus, with or without a sudden fever, headache, body pain, and weakness? You may be infected with monkeypox. Monkeypox is an infectious disease transmitted from animals to humans and from humans to humans. To protect yourself and loved ones, avoid contact with sick or dead animals. Avoid skin-to-skin contact with persons infected with or showing symptoms of monkeypox. Do not share, touch, or handle clothing and personal items of an infected person. Stay safe by washing your hands frequently with soap under running water, especially after caring for or visiting sick people. Early detection saves lives.
If you or anyone around you shows symptoms, please visit the nearest health facility for treatment to help stop the spread of the disease. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Health, NCDC, and partners.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is Daily Digest with Jimi Disu.
Welcome back to Daily Digest with Jimi Disu, and I think I have GT Ogunyo on the line. Morning, GT. How are you?
Good morning.
So I kept you. You know the commercials have to. We have bills to pay here, so I'm so sorry. But
I rather prefer you say you have money to make, not a bill to pay.
Long inconvenience here. We are getting closer to that day. Okay, you heard what I said, and you must have read Chidi Odekalu piece. What do you think?
Well, I think that Chidi Odekalu, a friend of mine, has raised a very pertinent issue.
Yeah.
Which I think that the legal community in Nigeria must debate and then see the advantage they can take of the incisive commentary.
Yes.
My position is that the courthouse donation, as good-spirited as it is, being a kind gesture, should be discouraged. In other words, it shouldn't be used as a model to be replicated in other states of the Federation.
Mm-hmm.
This one is localized in Ikere, Ekiti, the hometown of Chifuolola Nikwe, Senator of Nigeria, Chairman of Body of Benches, who is the donor and indeed reputable philanthropist. I haven't been known to have donated, other buildings and things to universities and even to religious organizations. The last time in that Ekiti, he donated a big church to a congregation in that place. So he's known to be doing such things. But why it's wrong is not because he is the one doing it. No. It is because of the implications, if you ask me. The implications are many. Chidi Odekalu had pointed to some of them, but it wasn't exhaustive. I know for a fact that before Chifuolola Nikwe did this, other lawyers have been doing this also. And this may shock you. There are lawyers who have donated secretarial equipment to courts, computers, photocopier, and all that. The last time, Ebuwolu Adegboruwa, Senator of Nigeria, shortly before he took the seat, or not too long after, in this very Lagos, donated a toilet facility to the Federal High Court.
You're kidding me?
Yes, and the review was positive. People praised him that he did that and all that. And the judiciary didn't frown at it. Indeed, they appreciated him for doing that, for being thoughtful enough. Perhaps that didn't raise any eyebrow because we're talking about a facility compared to a courthouse now that must have many toilet facilities, so to speak. So, and all that. But this has been happening. And so, what it points to is that it is a metaphor for the kind of unacceptable state capture by private interest in our country. And that should be discouraged, particularly for the judiciary. I know that this, because we know inventory, private interest, and people that are celebrated for having philanthropic spirit, donated vehicles, donators of the police. The police is a law enforcement institution.
Yeah.
Some politicians, honorable members of the House of Representatives, senators, donate operational vehicles to the police, and they have their name emblazoned on this.
Yes.
So if the police is a law enforcement agency that should be neutral, so can you imagine what is likely to happen if the political supporters of thugs of that kind of politician were to have problem with a rival political party in an election season? How would the police be even handled in that locality when they are on the payroll, so to speak, or they are receiving goodies from a particular politician? You know, okay? So, and so on and so forth. All the time we complain about state executives lining up judges and donating cash to them. It was bad then, even though we appreciated that we're talking about the head of the executive branch of government in the same government, and you could even approve of that as a gesture between one arm of government to the other arm of government. But we felt that it had implications for the independence of the judiciary, for the integrity of the judiciary.
Okay.
And so lawyers frown when we look at Rivers State or Lagos State or any other state where state executives, project themselves as the big benefactor of the judiciary.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
It has implications.
Didn't Wike also donate a courthouse or something in Rivers State? No, he donated a law school.
Yes, to the Nigerian law, Nigerian law school, and all that. And I'm making all these examples to make the case that the state should be sufficient in certain areas. In terms of, before we're talking about governance, we're talking about the state being able to, sustain itself and all that, and be even-handed, when the interests of citizens are concerned. So, I want to say that this discussion is being conducted not because of the personality involved, but because of the principle.
Yes.
And that principle, for me, is that the judiciary at all times must be above board like Caesar's wife. Nothing, must be done to suggest that individuals or certain citizens can, have their sway in the judiciary. Because the judiciary allows us this kind of gift. Or allows other things like this to happen.
Okay, GT, thank you very, very much. I need to take some other contributions. I thank you so much for your contribution. It will come very soon, GT.
Thank you.
My champagne is still cold. The older it is, the better. Thank you very much. I was speaking to GT Ogunye on the same issue. Do we have Mr. Candy Johnson on? Okay. Whilst we're getting Mr. Candy Johnson, can I pick one or two calls and get their contributions? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Yes, quickly, please.
Lucky Lola. Yes, it's like an arm robber building and donating a police station. The man is not the first to have come out to, donate stuff to the state, but that kind of gesture should be discouraged.
Okay. Very straight to the point, and I like that. Can I have another caller here? Okay. Why can't we get Mr. Candy Johnson, please? Okay, maybe we'll use my phone. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Uncle Jimmy.
Yes.
I think this is Pastor Ladipo calling from Omile.
I know.
Okay, a gesture like this should be discouraged. That is the reason why most of our politicians have this entitlement mentality, because they feel that what they're supposed to do naturally that belongs to taxpayers' money, they ascribe it to themselves. Thank you. God bless Nigeria.
Okay. Do I have any more contributions? Do you have Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I think the donation is not nice. It's not nice. I don't see the face he will stand and be looking at judge one day. You know, it does not make sense. If you don't have anything to do with his money, let him go and donate church or mosque for people.
No,
to
please
worship.
don't use that. I mean, please.
I'm sorry, sir, for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, the donor. It's not the first time it's going to happen. We hope it's the last. But we are now, from. That's why it's good to interact with people. We're getting to know and remember that it's becoming a common practice in this country. So there's no attempt. We're not talking about who did the donation really, but the principle. Morning, Yemi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Just hold on, please. Okay. Hello, morning.
Morning.
Can you hear me well? No, I can't get to that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Okay, let me try.
Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay.
It's important that I hear you. Okay, let's go. Let's go quickly before the line goes off again.
Okay.
Please go on, Mr. Johnson.
All right. Sorry, I didn't know at what point of the conversation we were. I read the article that you asked me to read, and I think the first thing to say is that the judiciary is underfunded, poorly resourced, and it seems poorly administered. And this is what leads to the situation where an individual who is a customer, if you like, of the courts can make a public gift in a way which I think will undermine substantially the confidence of the public in the due and proper administration of justice. Someone said earlier on it wasn't about the individual, but then Chido Dinkale describes this lawyer as the richest lawyer in Nigeria. I think he probably is also the unluckiest, since it is the same lawyer who was recently in some sort of scandal where a partner of his in the firm had broadcast that he was owner of the judiciary and able to achieve any result that he desires. This sort of gift, however altruistic and however it is consistent with any previous philanthropy of this individual, is so poorly timed, so dangerously presented, that I think that it shows a lack of wisdom and lack of judgment for such a thing to have been accepted and to have been publicized. I mean, I'm wary of people who wish to honor themselves in any event, but then when you do so in a way that impinges upon a foundation of our constitutional government and democracy, I think that's a danger that ought to be avoided.
So what do we do in this case? What would you like the CJA to do? It's been built, it's going to put to use. Any correction that can be made?
No, I think that the damage has been done. As I said, the judiciary is underfunded and under-resourced. I'm sure they need that court. I've been to some courts in this country where you wouldn't stable animals. I've been to some houses for judges, not in Lagos. Lagos is a better model than most, where you would be surprised that judges were asked to live in such circumstances. So there is a fundamental problem with the resourcing and the management of resources within the judiciary. So that there's two separate things. One, they may not get sufficient money, and there's not sufficient accountability about the way the money that they receive is administered. So this has an impact, adverse impact, on the administration of justice. But beyond, they do need these facilities. I wouldn't give the facility back. The gift has been made, the damage has been done. The question is how to mitigate it going forward, to discourage this sort of behavior and to diminish the damage that's been done to the public perception. The judiciary can be purchased by these
Okay, let me try and be a little bit naughty here. If you had a case in this very court, and Chief Olani Bekun was going to be on the other side, would it intimidate you?
I wouldn't be intimidated, but I think that I would be more worried about the judge being intimidated. This is the bigger problem.
Yes.
I think most lawyers would consider that if they appeared in a court which had been, and this is not just the donation to one judiciary has an impact on judiciaries across the nation. Our judiciary is centrally administered. This has an impact on the influence and the capacity to influence the outcomes in courts across the nation. Maybe some other court is expecting that such a large bonanza will be their lot if they behave themselves properly. So it's damaging across the board, and I can't imagine that people who exercise judgment, I mean, humility on one side, but how people who have sound judgment would not see this to be a problem.
Okay, I mean, thank you very much, and God bless you. Sorry I had to take you out of your office so early in the morning, but go make your millions, eh? You too, bye. Have a nice day. So we have three perspectives there, which I think is fair enough, and the lines are now open for you to express yourselves. It's 9:46. We have till about we have just about that many more minutes, about 10 minutes. So we'll take 7 minutes. So we'll take your calls. Okay. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Morning. Okay. Hello. Good morning. Morning.
Hello.
Morning, ma.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, ma. Please go on.
Good morning, Good morning, sir.
Please go on. Please go on. Please go on.
Yes, please. I want to speak to Jeff Lokoye.
That is the wrong number. Okay,
This is the wrong number.
This is the wrong number. Yes. Thank you. Jeff Lokoye doesn't live here. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Yeah, I really love to discuss this morning.
Yeah.
But Uncle Jimmy, I've been looking forward to the day whereby we are going to take all our agencies that are meant to put the checks of the executive, which is the police and the judiciary, off. Like, let the common man provide for their welfare. Let's see if they will not go against us. That's my take.
Yeah, I like the sarcasm. It's not lost on me, and I like that. I like the use of language. It's a pity General Marwa has come and gone. I'd have asked how we would feel if a drug baron built donated an operational center to the NDLEA. How we would feel about that. I think that generally this idea of donations has been terribly abused in this country across the board, and that's because the various agencies, even in private, don't meet up to their responsibilities. Even the religious houses, you're always looking for somebody to come and donate this and donate that and become lord over everybody. We must have this culture that within the limited means that we have and is visibly seen, we refrain from allowing people come and lord themselves over. Okay, so you live, for example, in an estate and somebody says, okay, I'll foot the bill of painting the building, I'll foot this. This idea of donations has been completely abused because it has its implications. And it's not just in the court. It's not just in the court. Even donations to the police, to this, and to that. Mainly because we fritter away the resources that are meant to provide for such things. And what makes it even worse is that, okay, so somebody donates a vehicle to the police. It's somebody donates a vehicle to the police. It's sprawled all over, painted, donated by this and that, more or less claiming ownership, intimidating other people. I think it's a culture that we need to. I also believe that we need to have like a protocol conference to agree amongst ourselves what is agreeable as our culture. Some people actually do this in good faith, but in most cases, it's some form of intimidation. I'm not referring to this one now. I'm talking in general terms. In most cases, because these things are sometimes not even done quietly. Okay, if it was done quietly, if I was a senior lawyer, for example, the most I would do is I could offer scholarships to those who are reading law. I could actually build a nice law library. After I'm gone, that's another thing. after I'm gone, I could donate to law libraries, more so if none of my children is a lawyer, they're not going to benefit directly. It's this measurement, this social measurement in our head that seems to have gone haywire. But it's not, majority thinking is like that. We do think sometimes without deep thinking. And once again, I'm saying I'm not referring to this particular case. Okay, I think that's where we'll drop it for today. How many more minutes do I have? 3 minutes. Okay, I have 3 minutes. I'd like to say one or two things. Tomorrow we are going to have Dear Bumi, as usual. And on Thursday, this incident that happened in Kano, where the president was stoned, it has its security implications. And I'm not going to just let it slip by. I think it demands some deep analysis and deep attention. More so when I read, I wasn't there, but when I read that there was an attempt to bring the chopper down. Now that frightened me. And that's why for the umpteenth time, I must give our security forces credit for discretion. What if one of the stones had brought the helicopter down with the president in it? And I'm glad that the PDP, Sheriff, God bless him, said this morning, the PDP have reacted, the APC have not, and they own the president. But I think the APC have their own internal wrangling. But I'd like all of you to go back again and listen to what I said at 7:30. It's on YouTube and it's on Facebook, and I think it would be on the Nigerian Info website. And listen, it's not a subject of debate. It's not an analysis like I said this morning. More or less is my thoughts, the way my mind is going. It doesn't look too good, ladies and gentlemen, but God will help us all. I'd like to thank everybody, GT. I'd like to thank Laborious and Yemi Candid Johnson. People who come and contribute in this manner are leaving their valuable time. They're donating their valuable time for the furtherance of good governance in this country. Feta, thank you very much. And Philip, who just entered and slipped behind the behind the barrier here. Good luck to you. I see you all tomorrow at 9 o'clock. What's Up Lagos comes up next. Stand by. I'll see you then.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info